So here I'm going to assign S to be the average speed of the sports car and T for the average speed for the truck. So this is miles per hour. We're told that in the same period of time, so distance would be the sports car travels 120 miles. So that would be its speed times the time T. Let me just call that T1. Whereas that for the truck would be 100 miles at T times T1. So not to confuse these two. So the time is the same. So if I divide these two, I get the relationship between their speeds, 12 over 10 or 6 over 5. So S is greater, obviously, because it travels more distance. Question is, what's the truck's average speed? So starting with statement 1, during the first 30 minutes, the sports car traveled 30 miles. So this gives me just the average speed for the 30 minutes. It traveled 30 miles. And so that only gives me the average speed, which would be 60 miles per hour, because that's half an hour. But what we don't know is the entire 120 miles for the remaining 90 miles, how much time it took. So I don't really know the average speed for the entire distance, because this original relationship is for that entire distance of 120 miles and 100 miles for that given time. So I can't really extrapolate from that and say that that's the average of the sports car, and that will indeed be for that entire 120 miles. And that's why 1 alone is insufficient. 2 says the average speed of the truck was 10 miles less than that of the sports car. So now this averages for that entire duration. You'll see we have 2 equations, 2 unknown, and we'll be able to figure out T. So 2 alone is sufficient. And the answer is B. If you're still feeling uncertain, you can plug those in, and you will see 1/5 T is 10, T is 50. And if you compute S, turns out to be 60. You will see it's kind of consistent with that data here, but that the part you have to be careful is we can't extrapolate that to the entire 120-mile length. But they try to be consistent with these values. But sometimes that can also mean that you might be tempted to make conclusions that are not there. So summarize, the answer here is B.